Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. We have the three amigos here to talk to you Thursday afternoon. And by the way, we just agreed we're going to do this every Thursday. So we get ready to knock your socks off. So Dion, how are you? We'll start with you.
Mike, howdy. I'm doing great. I am ready for my favorite threesome, round two.
That's sad.
Yeah, dude, that's not good.
Bar's pretty low.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good luck following that one up, Matt. How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, good. Kind of the rule is that if that's the kind of threesome that we're looking at, I'm out. Out. I'm doing great, Mike. Super excited to talk about the next thing real quickly.
Really? Yeah. Change the topic. Hey, so I got a comment. So believe this comment came on YouTube. It could have been the Facebook group, but I think this one was for YouTube. I think the next one's the group. Basically said, Mike, thank you for what you do. I bought the course yesterday. The course is, of course, called How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, which both of you are a part of. But he said, I don't know what market to pick, right? So we bought the course, spent $300, bought the course, doesn't know what market to pick. So what would you tell them if they were, got you on the phone or you were texting with them? And we'll start with you, Dion. What would you tell someone, or at least ask them? And then I'll give my answer after that.
I'm actually glad you're asking this question today, or this is the topic, because just this morning I was talking to two people. Somehow I got into the Washington Real Estate WARE group on Facebook, and has a mentor program. So people reach out and I answer questions. And
that's nice.
Two questions came out. How do I pick a market? Because it's too expensive to shop in my market and there's nothing available. And both times I sent back, so I'm not insulting you if it was you. Well, how many auto searches do you have set up? And they said, well, I looked on Zillow, which is dated material. It doesn't have current listings. Those listings that usually hit that are already pending and sold by the time they're there. So these are people who don't know if their own market, where they have a tactical advantage, is a good market to shop in or not. So if you're looking at investing, whether it's local or at a distance, that tactical advantage is what I'd start with. If you're in an expensive cost of living area, somebody is investing there successfully. Find out what their tactical advantage is. Is it the asset class? Is it the way they house hack? If you're investing at a distance, what is your advantage? Did you used to live there? Do you know the neighborhoods? Do you have boots on the ground? More so than saying, let me pull up the internet and Google what is the average price of a house, what is the average income, because that's not going to tell you which neighborhoods on this side of the street is safe and on this side of the street you can't go there.
Mm-hmm.
So to judge a market, it would be where you have the advantage more so than the market that has an advantage.
Okay. All right. I like that. Matt, how about you? If somebody called you up, friend of yours, getting started, and they said, I don't know what market to pick, what would you tell them?
Depending on who it was, I'd probably send them a voicemail.
I don't got time for you.
No.
Are you old enough to still have voicemail, Matt?
I am. It's true. I am. Sad but true. I mean, it's all digital now, but there's no like passcodes and things. So what I would honestly do is, I agree with Dion 100%, is tactical advantage is where I live. And so even for us, any market that we're going to get into for us has to be within a half an hour of where I live. So that would be the first thing that I would hit, would be, I would look at the town that was the most desirable to me, and then track it for 30 days and see if I was seeing anything. And then, because I wouldn't be doing 3 or 4 markets at the same time, I'd be doing one, but I would do it for 30 days and really see if what are we really looking at in that 30 days? Is there anything coming? And then I would start to make the decision of, okay, maybe we do this for another 30 just to look. But if there's either A, no inventory, or B, nothing even comes close to working, then at that point, I'm probably looking at a second market.
Yeah.
After 30 or 60 days.
So I get this question a lot, both from students and from subscribers, right? Just YouTube subscribers. And I don't know, let me know what you think of this. What I always try to do is, you're asking the wrong question. I think a lot of new investors get wrapped around the axle about finding the perfect market or the best market or whatever. And I actually want to table that discussion. I don't want them to think I'm going to find the best market day one. I remind them, when I'm trying to teach them in the course, is I'm trying to give them a skill. And the skill is best learned in a market that you can go visit frequently, right? Because you're going to spend 90 days, maybe 100 days learning the skill. So what I try to do with people, I get that question, is stop worried about picking the best market. That's not why you signed up for one rental at a time. I'm trying to teach you a golf swing, like to use the analogy I'm comfortable with. And you can't do it by worrying which golf course you're going to play at. You can't play at Pebble Beach or Sawgrass or, all these other fancy golf courses unless you learn how to swing. So I'm going to teach you how to swing, and you best to do that locally. And I tell them it takes 90 to 100 days. And then once you've got comfortable swinging, then and only then you can start asking, can I go somewhere else? And the reason this works is it goes back to the people being lazy in the beginning, like Dion, you talked about. A lot of people aren't doing the work. They see one CNBC or Wall Street Journal or Fortune, or they go to one meetup and somebody says somewhere that Tacoma is too expensive. And they just repeat it. They haven't done a lick of work. They don't even know what too expensive is. So I get rid of all that. I say, pick a market that you're comfortable in, that you can drive to. You've been around, you know the areas, and go look at it for 100 days. Go figure out the average for your market. A lot of people do it and are surprised. It's like, oh my God, I can find some deals. I'm like, no shit, you can find some deals. Like, go do the work. And other people come back like, hey, I have people in LA all the time or Bay Area. It's like, San Francisco doesn't work. Well, I'm like, okay, but now can you take that golf swing to any market across the country? Yes. Great. Then I did my job. So that's kind of how I answer the question. Does that make sense, Matt? We'll go backwards.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, I think, and then, for the other thing too, is that what you were just saying is like, as far as trying to find other deals and looking for other places, I comb certainly MLS and that stuff, but what I also comb is I'll look at Craigslist for stuff for sale, or also estate sales, where they're like in the yard sale section.
Yeah.
So I'll look for estate sales in the yard sale section. I'll look for all sorts of, things like that. And, I found probably one of my best deals this year, I found on Craigslist, contacted the guy. He owned it for 40 years. He bought it for $65,000. He was ready to retire. He was thrilled that he got $350 out of me. And his rents were half market.
Yeah. There you go.
Got a deal done. And now it's worth 600 because all the rents are now at market. Yeah. And he's thrilled because it was paid off for him, but he got 5X what he paid.
Yeah.
Plus.
And a no hassle close.
Exactly. I didn't, no inspections, no nothing. We were able to just do it. Yeah, exactly. Done. And so for him, it was a great transaction. For me, I made $200,000 in equity on that property just when I signed on the box.
Yeah. Because you were willing to do the work. You knew your market. Blah, blah,
Did all
blah.
the work, knew the market. Yep.
Yeah. And Dan, what do you think of my kind of reversing the question?
Well, it's definitely working on a skill. You have to be able to find out what is average, good, and great in that area to know when to shift. When I first started looking for rentals, I was looking for single family houses, and in my area, they just don't cash flow.
Yeah.
So I went to small multifamily. I have been able to consistently find them that cash flow, not all of them, like 1 out of 100 in the last 10 years. And I buy the ones that do. So when I talk to somebody and they say, I need to, the same question, I need to figure out which market to invest in. It's easier to invest locally because you can self-manage. It's easier to self-manage your property manager if you have a property manager. You can swing by the properties. You do know the areas. But if your area just doesn't work and you have to go at a distance, you're looking at the same things as though you live there.
Yeah.
What's my return going to be? What is the yield going to be? And that yield is impacted by things like vacancy, tenant turnover, sources of tenants, making sure you don't only have one. If you have one economic driver, like there's a Boeing plant and nothing else, you're at high risk of that going away. But in my area, there's a base, a port, a college, a hospital, Boeing, Amazon. So you can't be impacted. I would look at those same things in a distance market if I was going to have to invest there. And a lot of times in California, you'll get people that say, well, San Francisco and LA, it doesn't work. So my brother invests in Kern County.
Yeah. Kern, yeah.
Touches LA.
Yeah.
His properties are right there and they cash flow really well. He was able to retire with 10 paid off properties.
Nice.
And 3 of them are in Kern County, right at the edge of LA County, where people can't invest. But, it's a 20-minute drive from LA.
Yeah. California is a big state. And yeah, there are some I live in a market that would never make sense. But, for me, 2.5 hours away has done wonders for our family. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, you've driven up there several times, you said, and Olivia went with you. She's missed only 2 in the beginning trips that you made. It was close enough to do that.
Yeah. So again, folks, when you're taking the How to Get Started One Rental at a Time course, I don't want you to lose a day or a night of sleep worrying about the market. It's not the market, at least not yet. It's learning the skill of learning good, great, average, bad, whatever. So that's what I want you to work on. And that's what I left on the comment. So hopefully he saw that, and we'll see this later. So Matt, can people find you, be part of your world?
Lumberjacklandlord.com, Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube, and part of the awesome One Rental at a Time course.
Absolutely. And Dion?
Easiest way to find me is on Facebook. I'm in the Bigger Pockets groups, and here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom. And I'm also a part of your course. I still feel honored that you asked me to do that. I was really happy to put that together.
You got it. And you have one more important video coming, right? The binder.
I do. Like I said, though, I'm waiting about
No,
another month because I'm
problem.
doing that actual binder is happening to my wrist. I'm not wearing a watch. Thursday next week. So
Very cool. Yeah, we will, whenever you're ready, that would be awesome to add. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.